day we started with the Kosoto system, so there was you weren't there, so just so you know, the idea is that we went for a single leg, it didn't work, and now he's got us kind of in a half sprawl position, okay? So my opponent's on his knees, and my position is like this. So we did the first two options here, assuming that our opponent is not all the brightest, so that we can just bring his legs in, or he tries to stand up, which lets me get a hook, and I can bring him down as well. Okay, so now we're going to take things a bit farther. Our opponent's a bit smarter. It starts doing something that's not immediately going to be able to put him in a position where I can put him back on the ground. Okay, so in this case, I get my Kosoto hook. He does not have the down block, but he starts trying to sprawl on me to free his leg. Yeah, exactly that, okay? So here's where we start getting into the Kosoto that the system's named after, okay? So when he starts coming in like this, I grab deep on the leg, below the knee, and I post so that he can't so that if he puts weight on me, he's not gonna break my posture. And I start moving to the side. I do not move forward into him. That is very important. If I try to move forward, he's gonna flatten me, okay? Because that's where he is strong and that's where he's got his weight on me. I need to move in a half circle, and I don't know if you saw it, he actually started to stumble when I did that because he loses his base. Okay? So I'm here, grab below the knee, post. Yeah, exactly. And then get him in this nice 4-point. Okay, not yet, just good 4-point right now. Okay, so from here, I grab this hook. This hook is called a Kosoto hook. Okay, that's where this whole progression gets its name from this hook, because we're going to be grabbing this hook a lot now. Okay, and from here, since he's got his hands nice and on the floor, and he's allowed me to get this hip grip, again, he's a little bit better, but he's not brilliant yet. So from here, I can actually just go to my seat belt, grab my hook, roll him over and get the back. Okay? I do not need to do a complete rotation. All I need to do is collapse him down and get his back. Okay, and from here, obviously, rear naked, whatever. Okay? So, showing this one again. Okay, come in. So, I've got his leg, he starts to sprawl. I grab below the knee, post. No down block yet. That's coming later, not yet. Okay, so he goes into his 4-point. I grab my Kosoto hook. Now I can free this hand and come to his hip. If we're in gi, you can grab the gi pants here, no problem, but if no gi, we just grab a hook. From here, seat belt. First the bottom hook, this hook I wait. Bring him down, now I go for the front hook. Okay? It's clear what I want?
Yeah, just why do you wait for the top hook? You cannot
no, it's actually, it ruins my balance. Oh. If I go for the top, the thing is if he's actually taking my back and I'm like this, with just be on that, just go on my back. Yeah. The problem is he, no, go ahead, both hooks in. If he's like this on my back, it's actually pretty easy for me to get out. Okay? The seatbelt's great on the ground. It's not great if you're got an opponent who's on 4-point, because you actually don't have as much balance as you would with double underhooks. So you want to first bring him down to the ground so that he can't do that stand up and escape, and then you can get your second hook.
You just hammer your legs up.
Yeah, which I have the mobility to do when I'm standing up, because you can't really adjust, because you need everything to stay on top of me because gravity's working against you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay?
Yeah.
Any other questions?
No.
Okay, cool. So next step. So we're now assuming that our opponent is even smarter than the last one. So it's always going to be the idea of our opponent was really dumb, and he gets continually better the further we go in the progression. So same idea. He comes and grabs my leg. I sprawl. He goes into his Kosoto, and now, yeah, keep going. Instead of I post with one arm, keep going, and yeah, and now he goes to my hip, and I grab a wizard. Okay, so now he can't grab my back anymore. Go ahead and try it.
I can't get up.
Yeah, exactly. So now I'm in a much more dominant position than, well, I'm not in a more dominant, but I've stopped his progression forward now, okay? So now he needs to do something that's going to basically even the tide of it. So, and furthermore, I'm smarter, so I'm pressuring into him a bit now too, so. Okay? Yeah. So, this is the position of our opponent now, okay? So we have an opponent who's a bit smarter, he sees the back take coming, grabs a wizard and pressures in to stop me from taking his back, okay? So, I come in, he sprawls, goes out, get the hip, yeah, oh, forgot to go so, yeah, and he pressures, and very important, he is pressuring into me, okay? If he's not pressuring into me, I don't have to worry about anything, I can just bulldoze him over, okay? Yeah, he needs to have pressure in me to stay stable. If he has no pressure, I don't need to do anything. I can just push him over. It's really easy. Okay, so yeah. Okay, and now we're in kind of this not quite 50-50, but he's pushing into me, I'm pushing into him. Okay. Now here's where stuff starts to look kind of cool, okay? So, I want my back take, okay? I can't get it because he's got my arm, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to straighten my arm and turn my thumb down. And very important is I am now going to go in a straight line with my arm that way to pull my arm out, okay? So, this is going to look kind of cool. Okay? And from here, grab the hook, and take the back again. Okay? A big mistake a lot of people make when they try to do this is instead of pulling the arm straight, they try to do something like this. And now I get caught on his arm. Okay? I can't use this. Yeah, exactly. Now he starts getting front headlocks and yeah. Yeah, okay, so that's bad for me. Okay? So it's very important, that's kind of the key to this whole thing. I'm pressuring in, and he's pressuring into me, and we're kind of in this 50-50 with pressure. My thumb goes down, and my arm stays straight, and I bring my arm diagonally in a straight line down to the ground over there. Okay? So, and if he's pressuring into me when we do this, pressure, yeah. He face plants. Okay? So, and you see he's really close. Now it's really easy for me to get the seatbelt when he does that. Okay? So, but really important, if you're the opponent, you're trying to be a good opponent now. And I don't mean good opponent in that you let the technique happen. I mean good opponent in that you're doing something an intelligent person would do. Because a good opponent is not just going to sit there and, oh, he's trying to take my back. You're going to try and pressure into him because the averse of the idea with just bulldozing over is true for him too. If he gets this position, no, you get the Kosoto on me. Yeah, if he gets this position and he doesn't pressure into me, I can also just push him over. And now I have a pass too. Okay, so he needs pressure to stay upright. If one of us isn't giving pressure to the other, you can just push him over. Okay, so that's really important. You don't get to be just a rag doll. You have to be an active, smart opponent now. Okay, so one more time, just to show the whole sequence. So, let's go a bit more back. I just want to make sure we're in camera. Okay, yeah, he sprawls. Okay? It's clear what I want?
Yes.
Okay, so things are going to start looking a bit more like this. We're at the point now where our opponent isn't dumb anymore. So when he's going to get continually better. At a particular point, we are going to cover what you do when you're the opponent in this position. So if someone attacks you with this, what do you do to counter that? Okay? So, partner up. 2 notes about the last movement, then we'll go to the last technique for the day, and then we'll do some sparring. Okay? So, just a quick note. We're here. Okay? I get here, and he takes his foot out as well. Yeah? Okay, first, he has to give just as much pressure as I'm giving. If I'm giving 100%, he has to give 100% so that we stay in this neutral position. If I give 100 and he gives 50, that's where it starts to collapse, and I can push him over. At the same, move over a bit. No, let's just move over. Yeah. At the same time, if it's like he starts moving up and down or something, so yeah, he starts doing this. Well, now I can just do that. Okay. So you don't want to start moving a bunch when you're in this position. There are techniques for his side, but that's not one of them. Okay, so that's just something I wanted to point out. When you're in that position, you need to make sure you're giving just as much pressure as he is. Otherwise, he's going to be able to push you over. Okay, it's just like if we're just doing this, and I give 100% and you give 50, I win. Someone's bonuses. Okay, the second point I wanted to just point out as well regarding the leg. Huh? No, it's not good.
From the backside.
Right here. Oh, yeah, good idea. Yeah. So actually, right here is good. Okay. So we're here. We've got our Kosoto. We've got our hooks. So before, when he was up high, we were bringing in the hook here. This works because he's got this nice big opening for us. But after we do this technique, he's closer to the ground. Now it's really hard for me to get this hook in. So I don't bother. What I do instead is I bring my knee to his and block here, and I pull with my arms and with my Kosoto hook. And that's what gives me the turnover. Okay? So just 2 points about that I wanted to point out before we go to the next technique. So now, going to the next technique. Same situation, our opponent is a bit smarter, and he's also now a bit stronger, okay? So, I go through the same series of motions. He tries to sprawl. I come to the side, get my Kosoto, he gets his wizard, we pressure into him, and now he's got a death grip on my arm. Yeah, now he's got a really strong wizard. I'm not pulling this out, okay? I can't pull this out anymore. He's got a death grip on my arm. So I'm not going to. Instead, what I'm going to do is instead of turning my thumb down, I'm going to reach forward. And I'm very sorry, Jan, this is not going to be pleasant for you. Okay? Normally, your opponent's not going to do that. He would just, your opponent, a good opponent's just going to eventually, go into this exact position, okay? This is not pleasant for him right now. His shoulder is very horribly locked, okay? And especially since he's got his wizard, he can't just pull it out without giving me the back. So he's kind of in a catch-22. Either he leaves me here and gives me this lock, or he releases the lock and gives me the back. Okay? So we're going to first go with the option of he is do or die, and he does not want to give me the back. Okay? Actually, no. Let's go with the first option that he's a bit more scared of his arm, and he lets go. So he lets go. I duck under, grab my seatbelt, and from here it is exactly the same opening that we had the last time. Knee to his foot, pull with my arms in on the Kosoto hook, and I get him into the back mount. Okay? But the important thing here is that this lock, you are not pushing down on his shoulder. You are reaching forward. Okay? If I have this, okay? If I have this, we're here, and I come here, and I push down, his body is strong here. I don't care who you are, you're not going to get a lot of results with this. Especially if he's resisting. So this is not good. But if I take my hand and I just try to touch the wall in the back, that's a lot stronger of a motion for me. Okay? Even if he's resisting, that's hard for him to counter.
Yeah.
Okay? So that's the key. Okay? You're not doing this, you're doing this. Okay? You're trying to straighten your arm and reach forward. Okay? So I'll show the whole thing in its entirety, and then we'll drill that a bit, and then we'll start with some sparring. So we're here, he sprawls. I got to Kosoto. Okay, pressure in. He gets his death grip. Yeah, I can't pull my arm out. Reach forward. Now he doesn't want to break his shoulder, so he lets go. Belt under, grab the seatbelt, and into the back mount. Okay?
Yep.
So then, partner up. Last technique for the day. Okay, just one small point regarding a sprawl, how to sprawl, because I noticed everyone was doing this. So when you sprawl, you don't want to put a lot of weight on his back, and you don't want your hips to be on his shoulders. So a lot of people are doing this. The problem is if I sprawl like this and he just sits up, I give him basically a nice, really cool looking flip over my head throw, okay? When I'm sprawling, my kind of mnemonic device, I like to take my forearm and I put it on his shoulder blades, and from here, that's where I bring the power in, and that's how I sprawl, okay? And that gives me a lot of weight on his back, so that if he tries to just sit up now, yeah, okay, he can't. Or he can, and he's like 3 times my size, in which case I don't think I'm going to win this fight anyway. So just a quick note about how to sprawl, because like I said, a lot of people are like grabbing way back in the back, and it feels powerful, but you're actually giving your opponent more options to beat you. Okay? So we're going to go to some sparring now. So